If you are in the self-improvement and business space, you will probably have heard of the word leverage a lot. Something along the lines of focusing on the things that will produce the greatest result with the least amount of effort. Or the quote from Archimedes, "Give me a long enough lever and a place to stand, and I will move the earth." But why lever? And why must it be long? Where is the place to stand? And why can he move the earth? I will answer them in this video. Well, at least get close to the answer. I will split this video into two sections. First, explaining why and how leverage works. Then, showing you how you can apply it to your life and your business. So let's go. Where does the term leverage comes from? It comes from the principle of moments, which states that when a body is in equilibrium, the sum of clockwise moment about a pivot is equal to the sum of the anti-clockwise moment about the same pivot. What the heck does all this even mean, and how does it even relate to self-improvement and business? Don't worry, let me unpack it. The moment is the product of the force and the perpendicular distance from the pivot to the line of action of the force, which means that the perpendicular distance is the force multiplier. The object produces a force downward because of its weight, causing the body to turn clockwise, and the right side will be down. This is what it means by clockwise movement. It is a clockwise rotation. This is true for counterclockwise as well. When you exert the right amount of force on the left, the body will turn counterclockwise, lifting the object. When the body is balanced, both sides have equal amount of rotation. Makes sense. Keeping the distance the same, if you exert even more force, the body will turn further, and the left side will be down. Now, what happens when you exert the same amount of force by a different location along the body? When you exert it closer to the pivot, I know that you know that it is harder or even close to impossible to lift the object because of the low amount of moments or rotation. Now, you exert it further away from the pivot. I know that you know that it is easier to lift the object because of high amounts of moment or rotation. Okay, what if the object and the distance of the object from the pivot is different? If the object is heavier, you should increase the force or the distance from the pivot to lift it, and vice versa. If the object is further away from the pivot, you should also increase the force or the distance to lift it, and vice versa. In summary, the key is to have a counterclockwise rotation equal or more than the clockwise rotation by the object to lift it. How do you do that? Simple. Keep the force and distance high, in theory. But in terms of your life or work, you do not have a luxury to keep both of them high. To elaborate on this, I will change a few things. In your life, the object is your goal. The force is the amount of time and energy being used. The distance from the force to the pivot is the force multiplier, which is the amount of quality of your time and energy being used to achieve the outcome, or how well you use that time and energy to achieve your goal. And last but not least, the distance from your pivot to the object is the speed. Wow, I know. You have limited amount of time and energy, so the force will have to remain the same. But you can control where you exert it, or how well you use the time and energy, so that you can still achieve the outcome, lifting the object easily. If you want a big goal and want it fast, you have to make a way better use of your time and energy. Now you might be asking, or probably not, how can I increase my quality of how I use my time and energy? This comes down to doing the most important actions that will produce the outcome, and sacrificing the things that doesn't. There are 5 steps that I use to find out what actions are the most important. Step 1. Define the goal you want to achieve. Step 2. Figure out what will give you the goal. Exercise, people. Step 3. Break the goal down into practical, measurable, attainable goals that relate to the things that will give you the goal. Step 4. Find out what actions you need to take weekly, daily, hourly to surely achieve the goals in step 3. Or find out what the people who have already achieved the goal do, then do them. You can also multiply the multiplier by using the following by Naval Ravikant. Number 1. Collapse or label. Number 2. Money. And number 3. Products with no marginal cost of replication, which includes books, medias, and code. Next, sacrifice the things that are not contributing to your work, whether it is decreasing the amount of time on social media or jacking off or whatever. Then replacing them with the things that do, like resting, hanging out with friends and family, reading, etc. These are what I learned about leverage and how I use it to my advantage. Anyways, just my opinion.